fire, 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 fire. Okay, we'll watch this one. It's a nice 10-minute one.
Right now, ask yourself, how many games do you currently have that are halfway finished that you tell yourself, yeah, I'll get back to that, knowing fully well you won't? Or even worse, games that you'd love to play but have been gathering dust because you literally don't have the time to play them at all.
Oh, come on! Sorry, it's okay. It's just not good React content, that's all. It's fine.
What? Yeah,
it's not your fault.
A lot. Hey, fellas, it's your friendly neighborhood circle.
I have at least... So, 1, 2, 3, 4... five games that I want to play, but I just can't. I just don't have the time to play it. I can't. Is AC6 on that list? I'm debating AC6. You can play on stream? Yeah, but some games aren't good to play on stream, let's be real.
Circle guy, and today I want to jump into what I believe to be a massive contributor to the problem I just mentioned and spout my gaming opinions that absolutely nobody asked for. Charles, bring me my soapbox.
I have a big soapbox, chat, that I stand on and talk about, man.
I don't think it is necessarily a good thing for every game to try to have hundreds of hours of gameplay. Okay, let me explain. Lately, I've seen this shift in mainstream gaming. This Diablo 4. I mean, what? Hail Mary attempt at a forever game, something with endless content, something you could play infinitely. And I'm not talking about games that can technically be played as long as you want. I'm specifically talking about games with an overabundance of scripted, achievable things, quests.
5 seconds to teleport out? Dude. I cannot imagine being a game dev and being like, yeah, we should add an increased time for teleporting out of a dungeon. I thought that was a prank when they added that to the game.
Moments, you know, that juicy content. Games like MMOs and certain RPGs aren't really new to this grind.
I need you to slay 1,000 spiders for no reason whatsoever other than to increase playtime.
Ooh, this is exciting. Does this come with a vest and a name tag? Because I wasn't aware I just clocked in my new place of fucking employment. Now,
I mean, some jobs are like that, and some games are like that, and some people like it like that. That's the sad part. Sounds like Lost Ark? Yeah, BDO and Lost Ark are like that. Very, very grindy, and you can also spend money to skip shit. It's really, really fucking sad. Short games are great. Yeah, I played the recent short game I played was Stray, the cat game. I waited so long to play that game, and there was lots of people complaining about how short the game was, even though it was simplistic, and the story was just kind of cute, and it was done in like 5 hours or 6 hours. Yeah. If you can pay to skip it, why is it a grind? Because they want to make money off of you.
Video game grinding has existed since the birth of at-home game consoles. Older games would increase the difficulty or remove checkpoints as a way to keep the player playing, mostly due to hardware limitations. When your card—
Well, and arcade games wanted to get your money. They wanted you to keep spending quarters at the arcade as well. That was also another reason why they did that.
Cartridge housed a few megabytes of storage, sometimes kilobytes. It was up to the developer on how to keep you tethered while simultaneously making sure you didn't blaze through the game. It was clever, often bullshit, but an understandable practice. This isn't necessarily what I'm getting at here, but it's the foundation of this fabricated playtime that I want to jump into. It matters knowing this, but being able to differentiate this somewhat necessary archaic version and the new abomination we'd later receive. But sure, I get it. We want our games to last a while. We never want fun experiences to end. And on top of that, we also want some bang for our buck. Nothing feels worse than being hyped for a game for months just to have it last a few hours. But I got some—
I mean, I did get my money's worth out of Diablo, but at the same time, at certain points, it just wasn't fun. Grinding from like 70 to 82 was just boring. Like, I totally get what he's saying, and I did pay like $90 or $70 for Diablo, and I spent like 100 hours on it, so it was fine, but at the same time, it wasn't really fun. 600 hours before season 1, I guess I got my time's worth. Yeah, exactly. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was such a disappointment. I never played it, but I heard very, very opinionated things about it, and there's a big divide between people saying, oh, it was so good, and then other people saying, dude, it was a buggy mess and it wasn't fun. A $50 game that I have 10 hours fun with is better than a $10 game I grinded for 50 hours on. Yeah, exactly. ISV was good at its core, but Nintendo just doesn't give a shit. Yeah, I saw a video, it's on my YouTube, but it's just me seeing how buggy Scarlet and Violet was. Like, FPS drops, like people disappearing, quests bugging out, Pokemon battles bugging out, and I was like, damn, that kind of sucks. Like, you paid like $60. Yeah, HoloCure is free, yeah. Armor Core 6 is technically fairly short if you just do one thing, but well worth the money for me. Yeah, I think I could have played through Elden Ring a couple more times to get all the endings. Absolutely.
Some issues with how every single goddamn game is expected to last forever now. Live service games drip feeding their players with season after
Oh, not the Halo Infinite, man.
Season of updates, reuse content, weird time-consuming systems where they don't need to be, crafting, and literally fucking everything, it seems. Quit it with the fucking crafting! God! And this isn't
this guy's more passionate than I am. Love this.
Even the end of it. Even before updates and additional content post-launch, every game is expected to also release with enough content to keep you busy until you're fucking dead. Some of you may think, well, isn't it good to strive for more rather than to settle for less?
He is right.
And that would be the case if it weren't for the glaring fact that this current time-sucking content hellscape is lowering—
He needs to calm the fuck down. No.
The quality of games across the board consistently. Not only do so
Funny
many games try to promise
funny.
this unobtainable content paradise, but nearly all of them fail when they do. Content—
The human toll of Fallout's 76's disastrous launch. Wait, did Fallout come out during COVID? I don't even remember. No, it was before COVID. It was before. It was before, yeah. It was a bit before. 2016 or 18? I think it was 17? Yeah, it was 17.
And gets rushed, recycled, or even cut and resold later on at an additional cost. A finished game filled with a ton of content and post-launch content on the way.
Baldur's Gate! That's all I'm gonna say, man. A finished game? Yeah, Baldur's Gate and Armor Core seem finished at least, yeah. Pizza Tower's a finished game? What's that?
Being developed during a spike in crunch culture is the single worst recipe an evil witch could brew up in her comically large evil cauldron.
What are we making, Master? Infinite Radiant Quest!
So, what exactly—
I could not stand the grinds that was introduced into fucking Diablo with the fucking stupid hearts and shit. Pretty dope that Larian is still updating the companion stories. Yeah, that's why I feel good about leaving the game alone so that I can play it again in a different way, too.
exactly is content? Nowadays, games want to be a buffet of content, where not really much of it is that great, but oh wow, holy shit, there's so much here. They even got that weird-ass dumpling with old meat in it. Sometimes they'll even add to it and drip feed paid content like battle passes, and other times they'll have seasonal events.
Battle passes aren't bad if they actually A, have good content, or B, you can buy the next one with the money that you earn from the battle pass, like DBD or Fortnite. Yeah, D4 had a bad battle pass. It's all like fucking worthless. I logged in, looked at it, and I was like, yeah, this is fucking garbage. And I just threw it in the trash, uninstalled it. Miss the days of when you bought a game and it finished what you bought with what you got. For the most part, do like some stuff with FLC. Oh, DLC. Yeah, exactly. What are we making, Master? Artifact power! I had so many friends who grinded artifact power relentlessly in Legion. They never stopped it because there was no end in sight. New Wario Land? I never heard of Pizza Tower. Fortnite's pass at least it gives you currency for the next one. Yeah, there's a lot of games that do that, which is fine because you're kind of just reinvesting into it. Also, you didn't have to buy Fortnite. It's free, right? Like, I've never played it, but I'm pretty sure it's fucking free, and then it has a battle pass. So that's fine by me. I feel like that's kind of fair. I got so sick of Artifact Fire, it burned me out so bad. Yeah, me too. It was kind of a blur for me personally.
It's meant to weaponize FOMO. I know this argument has been made about DLC and pre-order expansion passes and stuff, but I think the real issue here has
Saints Row, man. They recycled this game and made it like 100 times worse, man.
been brushed under the rug, and that's the fact that more games today are attempting to steal your attention forever, and almost no game can do that through quality. Far Cry 6, Dying Light 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, Horizon Forbidden West, Watch Dogs Legion, Days Gone, Outriders, Biomutant, Gotham Knights, basically every single Assassin's Creed game ever made, and especially Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, man. Oh my god. They did it to fucking Saints Row, man. Dude, Saints Row was so bad. The studio that made Saints Row closed, though? Yeah, for good reason. They're terrible.
You know what all of these games have in common? The fact that if you removed half of the content, you'd only be improving the final product. If your game supposedly has a wealth of amazing things, I want to see them. Why would you hide them behind walls of garbage filler? And of course I don't—
Because it makes money. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's just it's exasperating to know that this is what we've come to. They used to give us content for free, but now that people realize that they can make money off of it, it's like you can just shove it in their face. Yeah, I'm sorry. All I see is Fox.
Every game to blow my mind every 10 milliseconds like a toddler with short-term memory loss. That's not the issue. And dude, I understand online multiplayer and single-player games have vastly different expectations and common features, but I'm conflating the two mostly because this issue is prevalent in both. What I'm getting at is—
your time is worth something. Yeah, your information is also worth something. That's why YouTube is still free, because the information that you put out as well is worth a lot of money. It's not tangible money, but it is money. Is able to just earn it all through grinding certain objectives or achievements kind of thing. Yeah, I think the saddest thing that I ever saw is when I grinded my prestige stuff in Heroes of the Storm, and then they just put it in the shop, and I was like, oh, cool, so people who never grinded this shit just get the skin for free. I spent hours grinding my favorite characters in Heroes of the Storm to the 12 or whatever like number it was that was for prestige, and then they put it in the shop a year later, and I was like what? How dare you? How dare you take my time and just put it behind a paywall for other people to have? It's so cringe. They can have this. Yeah, this dick. Yo!
One day I really like
Old Haunts,
man.
man.
Be cuddled up with the worms and moles of the world, but before that inevitable day comes, I will be enjoying video games as much as I can. And when I have to balance my work, social life, sleep, and other stuff with video games, that leaves me with an extremely small sliver of time for those games. And when I expand that inner sliver, you're gonna see I don't have a lot of time to fuck around doing nothing in them! And that's coming from a dude where video games is a portion of my job. Yep. This is even worse for everyone else. Yep. There is so much fluff, filling, padding, and stuffing in modern video games, and the—
Yeah, that's another great example. They gave away BDO tier 10 mounts for free after people spent months and months and years grinding out those freaking stupid flying mounts that was like prestigious, and then they just put it in the game for everyone to have for free. And I'm like, isn't that kind of like a bummer? For all those people that spent all that time grinding their riding, grinding, and like breeding horses, like—
the longer a game's average playtime gets, the more you're gonna find it. Waiting to make something, forced long travel, backtracking, randomly imposed roadblocks that only exist to increase game—
Act 1 starter bundle? What the hell is this? What is this game? Act 1 starter bundle? Is this a fake game? Lord of the Rings? Is it that MOBA game? What the fuck is that? Recolor it, at least keep it special? Yeah, I feel like that's more of a compromise, yeah.
length. As a kid, these things are awesome because you have all the time in the world. But when I hop on a game now for 2 hours and get almost nothing done, I feel like a damn stooge. Nowadays, someone will recommend me a game like,
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's only about 6 hours long, but
what did you just say?
it's about 6 hours long?
You don't know how much I needed to hear that.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Because it's a goal that's actually attainable. Jumping back to that backlog of unfinished games I previously mentioned in the intro, really think back to those games. How often were you actually immersed or engaged in the gameplay? How often were you experiencing something new or innovative? Or did you maybe abandon the game due to its overabundance of slog and you never even got...
I finished Resident Evil 4 recently. Yeah, I finished that game and it was actually really enjoyable. Yeah. That was the only last game that I played, yeah. Death Stranding kind of sucked, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think Fusion said he broke the CD or some shit. Because he couldn't take it. I was like, oh, okay.
got to the good advertised stuff whatsoever. You see,
You never finished Only Down? Dude, it would have taken me another 20 hours to finish it.
That is the issue here. It's not expanding the playability, it's restricting it. As I get older, I realize games that have 10 hours of excellent content will almost always be better than games with 30 hours of excellent content and 70 hours of fucking padding.
But look, it has 100 hours of content. Isn't that outstanding?
Deathloop is a great example.
Yeah, snake oil trading. They're literally sending you fucking selling you fake shit, man.
With backtracking, but simultaneously staying fresh, short, interesting, and concise with its gameplay. Hopping on for an hour and finishing 5 extremely varied fun missions before putting down the controller feels a whole lot better than starting up a mission to listen to a dude talk for 48 minutes while I slowly follow him to a destination to retrieve something stupid and walk all the way back. And listen, I'm not saying RPGs or farming games that go on for billions of hours shouldn't exist. I mean, Christ, I love RPGs. Obviously. They have their place just as much as short indie experiences do.
Witcher, oh my god. If I could play Witcher again and like wipe my brain, that'd be so good. I enjoyed myself so much. I was like playing it every day I got home. It was rare. I was like really engrossed in it.
My problem is this massive middle blob of games that want to be anything and everything and succeed at nothing while simultaneously being just, I don't know, boring. It seems so many games don't know what they want to be anymore. Video game genres as a whole seem to be losing their identity.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, my first-person shooter racing farming sim. This game
Racing farming sim. Gran Turismo fucking Stardew Valley crossover with Call of Duty.
should have RPG elements and base building. Thank God I added multiplayer. You're gonna want to pre-order for early access to the V12 eggplant shotgun.
There's never enough time to do everything you want. The industry is curving in a way where it's becoming far more
Saints
acceptable to
Row,
release a game half-baked with the promise of
Fixing it
or improving it later on than to delay or take your time crafting a polished work of art.
back in the day,
We didn't get updates, patches, and performance updates outside of the occasional
Yeah, I'm glad they
international
got
release
fucking
changes.
down.
You had to make sure whatever was on that disc or cartridge was worthy of its price tag. And often it
Yeah, you know what? That's a good point. When you had the cartridge, you didn't have the option of going back to the store and being like, this game fucking blows. Can I get the new one? Because there isn't no new one. Getting a new cartridge was like a big fucking deal for companies. It's really fucking sad that we have had regressed like this. They had to ship it at least completed enough to be passable. Yeah, it's fucking insane.
wasn't, in fairness. But this rush games out the door, time-crunching development hell world we live in was partially forged in the same crucible that invented the notion that every game must last forever. You know, it actually made me happy to hear when God of War Ragnarok got delayed. Most of the time, delays are positive. Waiting for a refined product will
That's also another reason why I got really irritated with all the comments of people saying, hey, why did you call No Man's Sky a scam? It's not a scam anymore. You keep calling it a scam. And I'm like, okay, if you've watched the first 15 fucking minutes of me reacting to that No Man's Sky video of it improving, you would have realized that I actually have a warranted criticism that it was a scam initially because they overpromised and underdelivered and it was fucking $70. It wasn't a finished game. Just because you can download it and then it was fixed later on and it was actually a good game 6 years down the pipeline doesn't matter. It's so bad. The people that cope and say and get outrageously angry at me in the comments. It's fucking depressing. I waited 3 more months for the Battlefield 2042. I got betrayed. Yeah, but that's different. I feel like I don't really trust big AAA companies. Just like Biomutant, yeah.
Always be better than getting an underdeveloped mess quicker. But gamers suck. Gamers are seriously my least favorite group of people, and I should know I'm sadly one of them. No matter what you try to do, they'll never be happy.
Oh boy, which route, developer? Release the game too soon and get shit on, or delay a game and still get shit on?
I'm one of the people that really I prefer it when people delay their games. I don't understand this whole, I want it now, I need it, you delayed it for 6 months, you delayed it for a year. Who the fuck cares? Just fucking give me something good. If they gave me Baldur's Gate 3 and it was absolutely fucking dog shit from the get-go, I would have lost my mind. More than them delaying it for like a year. I hate it when the people say that shit. Well, you should have, if you would delay it, then people get mad. So? A delayed game will eventually be good, a rush game will always be bad? Yeah, I think one of the Nintendo people used to say that, right? And then the cope is, oh, well, that's what business investors are for. That's why they get pressured. I'm like, fuck the business investors. You're not gonna get the same amount of money if you give a shit game out. Like, what is it? Why can't they just do that?
The choice is yours, my friend!
Speaking of crunch, while writing this video, me and my friends made the extremely poor decision of firing up Anthem. Remember that travesty? It's on Game Pass anyway, and we did this on the condition that we'd only check out the mainline content, none of the grindy, worthless crap. Because yeah, mech suits that fly around controlling the fucking weather is pretty badass.
Okay.
We learned. The art design is breathtaking. The sound design is superb. The game plays and feels amazing. Everything is snappy and crisp. Just flying around is enjoyable. But you know what isn't enjoyable? The fact that this game went through development hell trying to be a Destiny.
Anthem disaster unravels further after Destiny 2 loot system ripoff. Ooh, they tried to copy Destiny, huh? Ashes of Creation gonna release in 2033, but surely it's the best MMO ever. Yeah, that's some deep copium right there. Yeah, Destiny 2. Yep. I've never heard nothing but complaints from people about Destiny 2, I'm gonna be honest.
Grindy, unintuitive, stupid systems that uproot you from the actual fun moments just to shove some UI disaster or worthless dialogue in your face. Thank God, fellas, I forgot these games were supposed to make me miserable. What? These types of games hold the concept of end game content over your head as if you have to sift through the garbage to make it to the real game. But
I had this experience in, I think it was... what is it called? Star Wars The Old Republic. One of my friends was a big fucking fanatic, and they wanted me to play through all the really garbage gameplay to get to the good part of the story, and I eventually quit because they kept pressuring me, and I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to trudge through like a bunch of shit to try and get to the good stuff. It ruins it for me. The multiplayer one? Yeah.
Your head as if you have to sift through the garbage to make it to the real game. But guess what, dipshit? I didn't make it to the endgame content because the base game fucking sucked! Anthem could have been an extremely fun 8 to 10 hour co-op action game, but we just couldn't have that because BioWare was apparently visited by 3 ghosts that night. The ghost of a worthless open world, the ghost of repetitive missions, and the ghost of tedious, stupid crafting! What matters at the end of all of this is that we all need to unanimously push for.
They're not gonna do that. There's too many fucking cows and whales out there who will just keep getting milked and dump their money. It's so bad. Being pressured to play something kind of makes it worse most of the time. Yeah, but being pressured to play something and then it's actually really good at the start is different from like being pushed through content that you don't even really want to play. I think that a lot of gamers have a problem with sunk cost fallacy. They invest so much time in hoping a game that they keep investing in when they are getting burned. Yeah, it's like kind of like the WoW syndrome, to be honest. Not a lot of people break away from that shit. It's hard. When does whale become a cow? They're both. You get milked and whales just dump their money because they're whales.
The way this segment
Big.
hopefully ties a bow around the point I'm making, the vision of every game also needs to find its little bow. Look at him go. Oh, whoa, shit. I firmly believe aimless single-player checklist games are some of the worst games ever made. They don't respect your time, they don't strive for anything meaningful, they're a job with no pay and a boss that demands too much of you. These forever endlessly supported multiplayer games would always rather drag a carrot on a stick than actually make worthwhile gameplay features. There is a wealth of outstanding
Or put it behind a paywall. That's my favorite.
and indie games that don't fall into this massive, all-consuming category that I challenge you to seek out and enjoy. Here's an extremely varied list of games that properly appreciate your time, that you can utilize as medicine whenever you feel yourself falling into these traps.
Deathloop just goes silent. Earth Defense for Stray. Stray's a good one. Prey's a good one. Inside. Deep Rock Galactic. A lot of my friends who are really into, what is it called? Into dwarves. they love this. Vampire Survivors, Grow Home 1, 2. Never heard of that. Firewatch, Stanley Parable, Peglin, Ready or Not. I haven't heard some of these, yeah. They're indie games, though. Stricken, hello, how are you? Disco Elysium. I've had a lot of people trying to tell me to play that. Project Zomboid is great, too. I've tried to play it, but I prefer watching people play Project Zomboid than actually playing it myself. Yeah. Ready or Not is quite good for friends. Well, I don't have friends.
Now listen, I know this list is psychotic, unorganized, and truly deranged, but I think these games perfectly emphasize what I'm talking about. All of these games are super fun, and they're consistently fun and diversely engaging the whole time despite being extremely different from one another. And just as a wise man once said, if the game's not fun, why bother?
It's got a good point. Good video, good video. Lots of yelling, I like it. Give him a follow if you like his content. I like his yelling. He's a video gamer just like us.